Hello. Hello, Stampin' Friends. It's JuliaMazur with Simply She Stamps. Sorry if you were here right at 7:15. This is my first live on YouTube, so still getting the hang of things. And what we're doing today is we're going to make 12 cards using the Sweet Thoughts, Memories, and More cards and the coordinating cards and envelopes. So I did this as a fundraiser for Bright Pink, and you can participate in the fundraiser when you purchase the Sweet Thoughts and use the host code, which is right here. All right, so our first 4 cards are going to use, well, first of all, sorry, let me back up. Some other tools that you'll find helpful for making these cards is our bone folder, some scissors, I have some paper snips, I have my U-Pick tool, and an embossing buddy. If you have this from, if you are an embosser, if you like to emboss, this is a great tool that you rub on your paper before you put the embossing powder, and it is part of the toolkit. And so this will take the stickiness away. And then some linen thread or twine, and also dimensionals. I have mini dimensionals and full-size dimensionals. Some embellishments, which would be great to have on hand, are the Neutrals adhesive back sequence. There's some rose gold kind of copper, bronze, gold, and silver. These work really nicely with these Memories and More cards. You could also use the gold from the pastel adhesive back sequence. I also really like the flowers and hearts. These are in the mini catalog. They're adhesive back hearts and flowers. We're going to use a few of those. So let's get started. Okay, and I am just going to click on my video in case there's anybody watching and making comments so I can answer them. We're going to try to get our 12 cards done in 45 minutes. Okay, and let's see. Okay, so I see my video. Let's get started. Okay, so the first one, we're going to use the Dream Big. Let's set these aside. This is going to be a very simple card. We're going to use the Pretty Peacock card base. It's nice that these card bases are white on the inside. Just going to fold this, and I'm going to use a bone folder to get a nice crisp edge. I'm going to take the Bokeh dot card and put some adhesive on the back. I'm going to put it not towards the total bottom, it's about an inch up. And then I have some dimensionals on the back of this card. I'm going to take some linen thread. I'm going to give you a little tip here. We're going to wrap around our thread. So I'm going to leave a tail on the left end here, and I'm going to wrap it around twice. It seems wrapping around it twice makes it taut, so it's a little bit easier to tie your bow. And these cards, the Memories and More cards, make great cards to send if you are not a big scrapbooker. And it's nice just to add a little bit of embellishments, and so that's why I chose the linen thread and the sequence. In the Memories and More cards, Sweet Thoughts, there are some sticker sheets. Let me show them to you. So they're self-adhesive die cuts, or like stickers. We have some shimmery rose gold and some flowers and hearts and fun things. So that comes with that kit. So you really don't need much of anything to make a whole bunch of cards. Okay, I'm going to take off the backings here. And our first card is going to be done lickety split. Okay, and that is our Dream Big. One last thing I would like to put on here is I'm going to put today, Dream Big today. So this would be a good graduation card. I'm going to peel that off and line that up with the edge of the card. Make that straight as I can while I'm on camera. Sometimes that's a little difficult with the angle that I'm at. Okay, and there is card number 1. Okay, Moving on to card number 2. Where did I put my cards? There we go. We're going to use the Hello Beautiful, the Floral full-size card. These are 4x6 cards. And then we have, oh, where did the last one go? It's my little butterfly. I have one right here. Oh, I was going to use the different ribbon. Okay. I'm going to grab the I Love You Each and Every Day. We'll shimmy this out of this container. I don't know what happened to the one I had set aside. That happens to me every so often when I'm doing the videos here. And then I lost my video. Okay, we are going to use the Calypso Coral card base. Again, we're going to fold that in half, give it a nice crease. And with this 4x6 card, I cut it right in half at 3 inches. Okay, that's what I did. So now I have 2 halves. I'm just going to take one and kind of with like the card before, just put some adhesive on the back of it. And it's probably about 1 inch, just under 1 inch. And you can really put this wherever you want. Let's scooch this over though, make it even. And you can kind of use the shapes on here to get it nice and straight. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this card. But before we adhere this down, we're going to modify this. I'm going to grab my 12-inch cutter and I'm going to cut the edge off so we have a nice little ribbon. And I'm just going to eyeball it. And we're going to use that. And then you can cut off the other side or use it like that for your scrapbook page or for another card. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. I could go down the whole way if I wanted to, but I'm just going to do 3 pieces there. I do like that it doesn't reach the edge of the card. That's okay. This card is, I believe, 6 1/4 inches tall. Yes, 6 1/4 inches tall. So usually our cards are 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. This one's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So it's a little bit bigger. And I'm not putting any ribbon or thread or twine on this one. I'm just going to stick it on just like that, and it can be done just like that. Let me move this, make it a little straighter. If I wanted to, I could add some sparkles on here, but I'm just going to leave it plain like that to show you that you can just make some very simple cards and they are beautiful. Okay, our next card, we're going to use the Calypso Coral again. And we need the Hello There card and the Love You Forever. These are the flip side. These cards are double-sided. And I know it's hard to, decide which side you're going to use. But for this card, we're going to use these 2. I'm going to trim off the top part of that card. And let me check my reference here, which I'll put these measurements in the description of the video. And this is card number 3, 1 1/2 inches. So I am trimming this off 1 1/2. It's basically at the top of the flowers. And I'm going to save this for our next card. Okay, card base. And then I'm going to take the Hello There and put some adhesive on the back of that. I'm going to cover up the Love You Forever. So I'm just making sure that the wording is covered up there. I'm going to take my linen thread here. I did run out of my thread after having my online class and in-person class. So we're going to make do with some twine as well for these projects, and maybe some other ribbon. So I wrapped it around twice. That's my little tip. It stays taut a little bit easier, so you can loop around and make your bows. And you can make your bow as big or as little as you want, the loops and the tails. Okay, just adds a nice little interest to your card. Trim the tail off there. Now I am going to grab the stickers here. I'm going to use this rose gold kind of edging border, if you will. And I'm just going to slide it under so that the remainder can stay on the card. Or you could just eyeball it and cut it if you want. But I found this pretty easy to do. I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to cut it along the edge of the card. And then that remainder just stays on the sheet. Okay, so we have hello there. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. I have a tendency to kind of, while I'm on camera here, I throw my dimensionals around on the desk and then sometimes they get hidden. So we'll put those right in front of me so I don't lose them. Peeling off the backs of my dimensionals. It's amazing when you pop up these cards or really any layer on your cards how much of a difference it makes. Okay, so hello there, just like that. If you wanted to, you could add another couple sequins if you want. I like how these kind of mimic the rose gold, so I'm going to take one of those. I think I'm going to put a big one down there. And I think I'm going to put them down at the bottom here. Oh, I need one of those. I'm going to do another big one. So it just adds a little bit of interest. Hello there, little sparkle. Okay, and our next card. We need the beautiful and amazing and wonderful. Let's see here. I keep losing my video. It keeps going off on me. My computer keeps falling asleep. Okay, so I'm going to cut right here so that I can use these words for another project. So I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to cut off 2/3, I think it is. Let me grab my ruler to make sure. 2 3/4. 2 3/4 right here. Trim that off, set this aside for another project. And then I'm going to need my small piece of white again. This piece. We're going to use a Pretty Peacock card base. Fold that in half, give it a nice crisp edge there. I'm going to take this piece of white and put some adhesive on the back. And I'm just going to eyeball it here. You know, this is crafting, it's fun, so it doesn't have to be precise. This is just going to anchor this card that we're going to kind of layer on top there. But before we put this on, we want to decorate it. I'm going to take the paintbrush, which this is just so cute. Oh, I want to go like this so that the brown is on brown. So cute, just like that. I'm actually going to, let's see, grab my sample here and get my ribbon, my twine. My linen thread, not my twine. This is linen thread. Again, I'm holding it where I want the bow to go, and I'm going to wrap it around twice and make a quick bow. Hopefully, I need to grab a little bit more this way. There we go. To get a nice bow. Again, I'm wrapping it twice. You can just wrap it once if you want. Twice seems to hold it in place a little bit better. We do have a tool. It's kind of like tweezers that you can hold the knot there while you tie the bow, but I just kind of play around with it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to trim this off so it's a little even. I'm going to grab my dimensionals, which I put right in front of me. And I'm going to add one in the middle too, so it stays popped up. Okay, and we're gonna put it on the card base and we're gonna finish it up. It's cute, just like this, but because we have so many fun stickers, we're gonna use those on our card as well. So we're gonna use the happy. I'm going to put it right here so you can see part of my paintbrush. I'm going to use one of these flowers, but I want to put it at the top here. And since this piece is popped up, I'm actually going to use a partial dimensional. The dimensionals go from edge to edge, and on the edge we have partial dimensionals. So make sure you use those as well. And so this part is going to stick right here, and then the dimensional is going to stick on the card. So then the flower will be popped up and it won't get smooshed all the way down. And we have happy. I'm going to grab the for you and just kind of shimmy under that little card. All right. And that is card number 4. Moving along quickly, right? Okay, let's set these aside, and while I get my camera back on or my video back on, I'm going to show you the next cards that we need for the next 4 cards we're making. There we go. We have the details with the flowers and the love. This is what they look like on the back. Sometimes it's hard to find the cards if you're going to be using the back side. Okay, you are nothing short of amazing, and you can do hard things, and then that is the back side. The world needs more people like you. That's the flip side. And then the bouquet of flowers on the peacock is the happy life is on the flip side. Okay, so these are our next 4 cards. Okay, for this card, I've already trimmed off a love. There we go. This is what the card looked like. I took my cutter and just trimmed off the love. And then this part, we're going to cut around the flowers. I'm going to cut this one off, and I'm going to use my paper snips. And I think this might be my favorite card of this Craft for a Cause Sweet Thoughts class. Because, you know, these cards are double-sided, and it's hard to choose which side you want to use. So this one, we're actually going to use both sides, and you'll see in just a little bit how we do that. Now I'm trying to turn my card rather than my scissors. I am leaving a bit of a white edge around the flower and my cutting. Since these are kind of thick, the edges might bend a little bit while you're cutting, and that's okay. We'll just bend them back, okay? And it doesn't need to be, you know, perfect or exact. Okay, so we have our flowers and we have our stripes now. So we cut our flowers out. We're going to flip this over, and we're going to adhere to that. And we are going to use dimensionals to do that because I do want to pop up the flowers. So my tip here is to just leave this like it is. Put a little mini dimensional there, and then a couple regular size dimensionals right here. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that flower. And that'll be a good amount of dimensionals to have on the back side of the flowers that we just cut around. Okay. There we go. And so now we have this beautiful focal point. Okay. Let's grab this. And I'm going to use some linen thread again. And I'm just going to wrap this around once. I'm actually going to put my dimensionals on here first. It'll kind of help to hold the thread in place. And I'll use a big one right there. Okay, and again, this thread just adds a little fun. You could use different ribbon or different twine. The linen thread is one of my favorites because it's very economical. And I think in my class, my online class and in person, the hardest part of these cards were tying the bows with the twine. See, this one with using only wrapped around once, it's a little bit harder to keep it taut, but I'm going to do it. I'll try one more time, and hopefully it is tight enough. Okay, there we go. Play around with the length of the tails. We are going to use the Pretty Peacock card base, fold that in half. These fold so nicely because they are pre-scored. I have my dimensionals on the back of this one. I'm gonna peel those backings off. I'm gonna kind of go towards the top. And then I'm going to use this love, and you could keep it, sneak it under there if you want, or you can keep it flush with the edge there. I'm actually going to put a little bit of space between the two. You could pop it up with dimensionals if you wanted. I am just using some adhesive to put it right on the card because I like the dimension of the flowers and the stripes. So we're going to use a little bit more of our embellishments. We're going to use the bows here, and the easiest way to get them off is kind of bend around them because the stem is so narrow, so thin, you don't want to bend the stem. And I'm just going to kind of shimmy that under the Calypso coral flower there. Grab this other one. And this rose gold is just so pretty, and it adds just a little bit of shimmer on your card. You could add some more sparkles if you wanted, or another flower, but I'm going to keep mine just pretty simple because it'll nail nicely like that as well. Okay, so moving on to our next card, we need You Are Nothing Short of Amazing, and this actually matches the large card. You can do hard things. We're going to cut this one, and I gotta check my notes here. This is 2 3/4. We need 2 3/4. We're going to trim 2 3/4 off. Turn this around. There we go. And we're going to save this piece for our next card. So just set that aside. We're going to trim this one down. You can leave it like this or trim it down. I'm going to trim about 1/4 inch off of both edges, the top and the bottom. You can leave it just the way it is, but I wanted a little bit more of the card behind it, so that's why I trimmed it. Again, I'll put the cutting measurements on the description. We are going to use the Pretty Peacock card base. Hopefully, I have sound today. I was using this the other day and it picked up a different, did not pick up my voice. So hopefully, if anyone's watching, you can let me know if you can hear me. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna just put some adhesive on the back of this one. And again, you can use our Stampin' Seal, or if you'd like our Tombow liquid glue, that would work as well. I'm gonna go about 3/4 inch from the right edge. And again, this is, I just eyeball this because it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. And I think I might try some of the checkered. I think I'm going to try the checkered on this one. The black and white gingham. And I'm going to maybe just do, no, I think I'll do a bow. You Are Nothing Short of Amazing. Since I'm kind of running out of thread, and in the mini catalog, it does have the black and white gingham ribbon in some of the samples. Didn't make that tight enough or I lost it, so let's just try that one more time. I'm looping up and I'm taking the tail and I'm pulling it tight, perpendicular, and bringing it up and around the front towards me, and then pull through. And again, you can make the bow and the loop and the tails as long as you'd like. I'm not using my paper snips on my ribbon. I find they don't cut ribbon very well. It can sometimes be a struggle. That's why they're paper snips, but they're wonderful for paper. I'm going to take my dimensionals. Let's see here. And I'm going to put it on top of the ribbon, so it's going to kind of keep it in place. This is a little bit different than my sample, so I will show you the sample and this one with this different ribbon, and you can tell me which one you like better. Okay, you are nothing short of amazing. I'm going to take a little flower sticker, put a flower sticker up here, and I'm going to take another flower, a big flower. Where did that sheet go? Right here. Let's see, I think I'm going to do the pink flower this time. Change it up a little bit. I'm going to use a little portion. Again, I'm going to put part of the flower on this, and then the other part will hang over. So on the part that hangs over, I want to put a smaller half-dimensional so it holds it in place. There we go. Overlap just like that. And here is my other sample. I even added some sequins here, and this one has the twine on it. Let's see if I can grab the one, yep, that has the linen thread. Okay, so lots of different looks that you can get. I didn't put any sparkles on there. That one, oh, I like it with the black and white gingham. Okay, so you got lots of options, and once you start making these, you can play around and change up little things to make them different cards. Okay, hold please. I need to get some water. Alrighty. My next card, we're going to use the Calypso Coral card base. We have The World Needs More People Like You. And then we are using the portion from the last card that we just cut off. You can do hard things. We're going to use the grid paper on back. Okay, so hold on. Let me grab something. Okay, so like I said, I'm cutting different cards apart, and you can use them, get more mileage out of them, I guess. Okay, so let's build our card. I'm going to fold this. Again, use the bone folder. I'm going to take the grid paper and put adhesive on the back. And it's kind of going in the middle, maybe a little bit more towards the top. And then this piece is going to get dimensionals on it. And then we're going to decorate it. So don't stick it on the card yet. I just want to put the dimensionals on it because I find sometimes that when you put the dimensionals on it before you wrap your twine around it or linen thread, it holds it in place a little bit better. Okay, before we do that part, we're going to use the ribbon sticker. So these are the self-adhesive die cuts or stickers. I'm going to count about 7 of these. And again, I'm leaving the rest on the sheet so they can stay there for our next project. And so I have about 7 flowers. So I didn't want to go all the way on the bottom. I like a little bit of interest there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll use the rest on another project. So I'm just snipping it like that, and then the rest of the ribbon can stay right there. Okay, I'm going to take my linen thread, and you know, it comes wrapped around a spool, and so sometimes it gets all wonky, so you can just use your bone folder to kind of even out those kinks, if you will. Okay, and I am going to tie the bow over here on this end. And this is not the end of the final card, so I'm going to actually tie the bow on the edge there, just for some different interest. Okay, so make it nice and tight, kind of go to the edge, loop up the bottom, bring this one back, up, and towards me, or towards yourself. And then you can kind of play around with it to get the loop sizes you'd like and positioned where you would like it. Okay, so we got all this done. We're going to add a little bit more embellishments in just a moment, but I can stick this down on my card base. I'm going to put it right there. I love how we have some grid paper with the globe, and it's probably a little crooked. Even though I have the grid paper to help me guide it straight. We're going to add some more stickers because these are just so fun. And I love this little heart to go with "The world needs more people like you." And then I'm going to grab one of the hearts from here. I think I'm going to do a blue one. I would like a pink one, but I ran out of them, so I'm just going to use a blue one. All right, and one last thing here. We're going to use the remainder of this to put on the top to add some interest. And I have it mostly on the white. There's a little bit of the edge hanging off. And so that just gives it a little bit of shimmer again to go with the heart there as well. Okay. That's the "World Needs More People Like You" card. Okay, next one. We just have this bouquet of flowers. Oh, I lost my sample. Gotta get my sample. This one was cased, if you will, copy and selectively edited from the mini catalog. You don't always have to come up with original ideas. You can use especially the ideas in the catalogs as a starting point. And what happens is that you start copying something and then your creative juices get going, and then you can make your own edits and come up with other ideas. Okay, so we are going to use the remainder of this sticker. We're going to cut this so that we can expand it. So I'm going to cut just over 4 flowers there. We're going to use this edge. This is a straight edge, and we're going to line it up to the edge of the card. This is going to kind of shimmy under our card. This is about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4. No, a little bit less. Okay. Go right there, and then we're going to put this not all the way to the edge, just a little bit in, but we're going to keep it at the same level from this. Okay, so this is how you can use your stickers a little bit more wisely, I guess. So you're going to cut and expand. We're going to use this card next. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back before I tie my ribbon around it, so we can kind of hold it in place. Let's see here. Okay. So hopefully you will be inspired to make these cards with the sweet thoughts, memories, and more. They were made for scrapbooking, like pocket pages where you slip them into little pockets, but they also make great cards. We sell memories and more white cards and envelopes, so they go right on there. Or we have these special ones. The sweet thought ones are just so pretty and bold. Oh, wait till you see the envelopes, the liner of the envelopes, the inside of the envelopes are so beautiful. Let me grab one just right here before I forget. Okay, so these come with the cards and the envelopes, and there's a pattern, that beautiful bright pattern on the inside. And then the front, they have, they took the pattern off this section so that the post office won't get mad at you when you write the address and the return address. Okay, so they really are just so bright and beautiful. Okay, so I've got my linen thread wrapped around and tied. And I am going to put my card down here so we can finish up with our fun stickers. I'm going to put happy, but I do want it over the edge, so I am going to use just I think I can use a mini dimensional on the back of the Y there. Okay. And I think I put it flush with the P's and the Y kind of anchored that. Okay, so we have happy. Now I'm going to take birthday. These, you know, just make crafting so quick and easy. Okay, and I think I'm going to add a heart. I'm going to put part of it on the card and part of it off the card. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back, just on one side. Hopefully put that a little too far over. Let me just snip that there. So as you can see, I have the dimensional on the right hand side. This is the sticker part. So the sticker part is sticking on the card, the 3x4 card, and the dimensional is on the card base. I'm going to do that same thing with this little flower, but before I do that, I do want to add some more glimmer. So I'm going to grab another bow very carefully. Oops, see, I kind of messed that one up a little bit. So the shimmer goes right there, and grabbing an edge of a dimensional to put on the back, just half side of it, and this will go right here. Okay. Hold on, maybe I put the dimensional on the, not, I smushed it down. Okay, so there we go. All right, beautiful, just like that. These are very sticky, so once they're down, they're down. I think I probably would have aimed up higher up there, but that's okay. Okay, so we are now on the last 4 of our cards, of our 12 cards. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm still streaming. Yeah, I'm still streaming. I guess my video on my computer is just lagging. Okay, so for the next 4 cards, we need the You Are My Sunshine. That's the back side. The black text, Good Things, is on the back side. So this is going to be 1 card. Next card is going to use Life is Wonderful. The pecan hearts are on the back side. And then the white text, Picture Perfect. And then our last card is going to use the big, big butterfly. Okay. So let me go like this. So I have them all right handy. I'm going to grab a pretty peacock card base, fold that in half, give it a nice burnish there so we have a crisp edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the bottom of this card. So I'm going to use my cutter again, and I am trimming 1.5 inches off the bottom. I wrote all the dimensions down of what I was cutting down because I knew I would forget. And you could just eyeball it. Okay, so I'm just going to put You Are My Sunshine on top of the text. I'm going to line it up to The World Needs More People Like You. I like that saying, so I want to be able to see it. Okay, just like that. Now with this part, I am just going to cut out some flowers here. I do this technique with my designer series paper as well, because sometimes how you're using your paper, you might have some images all the way to the edge of your paper, but they're just partial images. So it's a great way to use up the leftovers. And let me show you how we do this. And I'm going to cut these out, and then we're going to put them on top of our card with dimensionals. So it's kind of tone on tone, but it still adds quite a bit of interest. Okay, and again, this does not have to be perfect. Crafting is fun. Remember, it's fun. I think I'm going to use my gingham ribbon again. Hold on while I go grab a piece. I have a sample with some of the linen thread, and that's what we did in class, but I'd like to change this up because that's kind of what I had envisioned for. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll put it on the right. But I think I'll just tie a knot instead of a big bow. This black and white gingham ribbon is on our retired list. It is not carrying over to our new catalog, which starts May 1st. We do have some of the vanilla and black checked ribbon. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, and now I'm going to use a dimensional, maybe a dimensional and a half on the back. I'm not going to cut out any more of the flowers. You get the idea. And so I have a straight edge here and a straight edge here, and I'm going to line up the straight edges with my card. Okay, super cute, just like that. You see how it just rises up, and you know, it's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Impressive in person. And then some dimensionals on the back. What's nice when you put the ribbon around your card and you put the dimensionals at the bottom of the card, it's going to hold that ribbon on to the card so it won't slip off. Okay. And I'm going to just put that again kind of towards the top, not dead center. You could if you wanted to. And I am going to use some gold sequins. I want to add some gold sequins. And I'm going to put one here and then a little one here. I'm going to use a big one here, like it's the center of that flower. And I'm going to put one more because it's nice to have an odd number. A lot of times I'll just do 3, but you know, these cards are fun and we're giving it to someone special. Okay, this is the other sample that I used with the white twine, and you'll see that I have some other flowers that I popped up. I would probably do the same here, but just in the interest of time, I'm just going to show you the sample. Okay, so we have 3 more cards left. We're going to use the Life is Wonderful next. And for that, we need our Calypso Coral card base. Excuse me, I need another sip of water. All this talking. Okay. And what's great was this is, you know, going to be this live video you'll be able to watch anytime. So you can gather your supplies another day and put the cards together. Okay, so this I am not popping up. I am just putting straight down with my adhesive. I can use these, I don't want to call them grids, but you know, the pattern as to help me line it up. I'm going to grab this strip, and Life is Wonderful is a great saying, and I would probably put that in my scrapbook. But I wanted something different for a card. So I am going to cover up the Life Is. And I'm not going all the way to the film strip, but pretty close. I'm not putting it down there. I'm gonna cut just like that. And I think I need to trim some white because I am going to line it up. I think on one of my samples, I just went along with it, and then the lines were kind of making your eyes go wonky. So now I can line up the lines so it's a little more pleasing to your brain. It's not giving you that optical illusion. Okay, and then this piece can go back on my sticker sheet. Okay, so I covered up the Life Is, and I'm going to grab the sticker that says You Are. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on, and let me show you a little trick if you want to pop up some of these images that are bigger, like I've done them with the flowers. But this part's sticky, so I am pouncing my embossing buddy, and this is just some cornstarch or some kind of powder like that, that is going to take the stickiness off the parts that doesn't have the dimensional. So the dimensional backings are still on. Now I'm going to peel them off, and they will be sticky, and so the You Are will stick very nicely. I'm going to put You Are Wonderful right there. And I'm going to grab a cute little flower. I think I'll do the light pink one this time. I don't think I'm going to put a dimensional on it. I'm just going to stick it under there. You Are Wonderful. And I am going to use some of my fun copper self-adhesive backed sequins. I love these sequins because they're nice and flat, so they mail nicely. Okay, so it just adds a little bit more shimmer. So very pretty. You Are Wonderful. So that's how you can figure out how to work around the cards if there's a saying on there that you don't particularly care for. Okay, next card is another case from the catalog, the mini catalog, where these Sweet Thoughts, Memories, and More cards are featured. Okay, so I have the card base and the white text. We are going to use the film strip. I'm going to grab my U-Pick tool here, and I'm going to kind of go around, and before I peel this up, put those there. Either go around or grab these little squares, because the other day when I was doing this, oh my gosh, they went all over me. I was just going to make sure that they were going to stay on the sticker sheet, because if you pull it up, most of the time they stayed on there. And then on camera it was just kind of hard. I had all these little black pieces sticking to everything. So I'm just going to flip them off and put them on the side. Maybe for the rest of them, I thought if I just went around here, they'd stay down, but they're coming off. So that's kind of breaking up the stuff that connects it, so that hopefully they will stay on the sticker sheet. Okay, so again, we're going to cut and expand. So I'm going to take the film strip, I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm going to cut that in half. Oops. Peel this part up, cut that in half right there. Set that aside for a moment. That's going to be covered up, so that's okay. All right, so I have my film strip. See, there's that little black piece that's stuck on the back. Okay, there we go. And you guessed it, I'm going to put it under The World Needs More People Like You, so we can see that. And do your best to get it in the middle there. If it's not, that's okay. And then the bottom one, hopefully my black pieces stay on the sticker sheet. Nope. Well, two of them did. We'll poke these out. Hopefully they will stick on my paper. The first time I made these cards, I really didn't have a problem with the little squares poking out and getting all over the place. So that's what the U-Pick tool is great for, because you can just pick it off. Okay, and I think I can just trim that. We're gonna cover that up, so that'll be okay. And then this one is going down to Time for Adventure. And part of that's covered up. So see how we cut and expanded, and that's how you make these pieces work for you. Now we're going to use the beautiful butterfly sticker, and we're going to use that same technique that we did with the UR. We're going to peel this off, and we're going to add some dimensionals. Now I'm going to add quite a few dimensionals here because this is so large. And this is going to go to a very special person. You could just stick this on. That's what I originally did with my first couple cards. But then I wanted to do what they did in the catalog, and it really was so beautiful, popped up. So this is a lot of dimensionals. That's okay though. And then we pounce our embossing buddy over the rest of it. So the sticky part is not sticky anymore. Kind of have a bit of powder all over the place. That's okay. Okay, so it's only going to stick where my dimensionals are. Now again, the backings of the dimensionals are still on the dimensionals, so those won't be sticky. Okay, let's see here. I just check in my computer to see if anyone was commenting, if you had any questions, if anyone's watching, if you can actually hear me. I hope I have sound this time. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to put the butterfly over the film strip. And so he is popped up. Beautiful, just like that. I'm going to grab the Love You 2 Pieces sticker there, and I'm going to put it right across the butterfly. Before I put on my sequins, I'm going to pop this up again. So this is a very dimensionalized card, which is okay because I don't think I'm going to mail it. And it's okay that it's so popped up. And it's going to go in the center, just like that. Love You to Pieces. And I'm going to grab some gold sequins. I'm going to put them kind of where they did in the catalog, because sometimes you don't want to think too much and you just want to copy. And I have my sample that I did before that's guiding me along here. You can also use the sticky part, the sticky gummy side, to pull those off. That one's going to go a little under there. And that one's going to go up there. Okay, Love You to Pieces. And I don't even have any ribbon or twine on this one. So pretty just like that. Let me show you the difference. This one is my original one that I did where the butterfly is not popped out, and I just really love it with the butterfly popped up. Okay. And then our next card, our last card, is super easy. I'm going to use the Pretty and Peacock card base. I'm going to take my cutter because I am going to trim my card. I'm going to take about 1/4 inch off to 3/8 of an inch off. I think I'll do 3/8 each edge. And this is just so I can have a bigger frame of the peacock color and peacock color around my image there. I'm not going to pop it up or anything. I'm just going to add some adhesive, stick it on my card. I'm going to grab this cute little love bubble. I am going to put a dimensional on it. I could use my little embossing buddy to pounce on it. It's a small one, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm going to put the love right there, like he's saying love. And I'm going to add, I think I'm going to do flowers. I had hearts on my other sample, but I'm going to grab some flowers. We have some pink flowers and blue flowers. I'll probably put them in the same spot as I put my hearts. Oh, and the pretty white flowers. Let's see here. I'll do a white flower over here. Cute. Oh, and there's a little flower. Put the little blue flower. No, I'll put the blue flower over here. And another pink flower up here. And I think I want another little blue one. No, I was going to put a yellow one there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put a heart. I can mix and match. I'm going to put a heart right there. And I think that's cute, just like that. Yes, because that's odd. Okay, here's the card with the love not popped out and the edges not taken off with some pretty hearts. So I just love how these hearts and flowers match the Sweet Thoughts. Love the Sweet Thoughts cards. Memories and More cards, and then the coordinating envelopes. And if you use the host code UK2QQUSS during April, you can be part of the Bright Pink Craft for a Cause as well. And I will have the dimensions, the cutting instructions, and the list of items that I used in the description under this video. So if you are interested in making these cards, you can click on there and order your supplies. Thank you so much for joining me for the Sweet Thoughts Craft for a Cause card class, and I hope you subscribe to my channel, and you can also find me on social media at Simply She Stamps. So let me pull out some of these cards here so we have a few while we're finishing up. Okay. If you have a favorite, let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.